Okay, I'm standing in front of Public Works in San Francisco, where tonight there was a Moth Storyslam on Obsession, and I was going to tell my story about how I became the Muffin Man. They put 14 names in the hat, they pulled out 10, mine was not included, but this story really needs to get told, so we're back outside the venue in the drizzle when I'm telling the story. Ladies and gentlemen, saying before he was a superhero, and like you know from all those crappy Marvel flicks in the cinema right now, every superhero has an origin story, and here is mine. Flashback 4 years, it's Yom Kippur Break the Fast, yes, that's right, superheroes can be Jewish too, okay? I'm at my aunt and uncle's house, my uncle's whipping up some batter, I say, what you making? He says, I'm making muffins. I say, oh, are they hard to make? He says, no, it's really easy, you should give it a try. So that night I go home, and I do give it a try. I go on epicurious.com, get a recipe for apple cinnamon muffins, whip up a dozen, I eat one, hey, it's not that bad. Later on that night, I'm on the internet, as I want to do, and I come across one of those articles, I'm sure you've read it before, 26-year-old tech CEO, rich douchebag, ranting about how he was walking down Market Street, and he saw a homeless person, and he was dirty, and he's scary, and the guy's clutching his pearls and thinking, oh my god, what should we do about this problem? And I'm thinking, no, buddy, the problem is you. The problem is that we live in the richest country in the world, and yet we have people on the streets starving, in the richest city in the world, starving and in need of food and love, and what can I do? And then I remember I still have 11 muffins left. So the next day, I walk down Market Street, I see a guy with scraggly hair and a bushy mustache, and he's holding a sign that says, hungry, please help. So I reach into my muffin sack, and I hand him a muffin. He takes a bite, he says, this is good. You make it yourself? I say, you're darn right, I made it myself. And his eyes start to tear up, and he says, no one's ever made something like this for me, for the heart. Thank you for making me feel like a human being. And he says that, and it makes me feel really good, and I give the rest of the muffins away, and I get similar reactions, and so the next week I make 24 muffins, and I walk down the street and I hand them out, and people are very thankful, and I still have a few left when I get to the office, and do I give them to my coworkers? No, fuck those people. And then the week after that, I make another 24 muffins, but this time something interesting happens. By the time I'm halfway to work, I've given them all away. Why? Because something's changed. Before, I always had tunnel vision. I'm walking down the street, I see a few homeless people, but I don't want to see them. We try to avoid what we find to be dirty or unsightly or scary, but the Muffin Man, who I have metamorphosized into, he has full peripheral vision. He's looking for hungry people. He's looking for people in need, and he goes up to them and he gives them muffins and he makes them feel good. And after a while, I start doing it every week, and people start to recognize me, and they say, hey, Muffin Man, what flavors you got today? Because I made all the flavors. I made apple muffins, I made pear muffins, pumpkin muffins, maple, vanilla, blueberry, blackberry, raspberry, boysenberry, loganberry, lingonberry. I don't even know what that is, but I put it into a muffin. Banana, banana chocolate chip, chocolate chip, chocolate chip. Those are all different things. I made mango muffins. A guy took a bite, and he says, holy fuck tits, that's good. I tried making lemon poppy seed muffins, but you can't do that because homeless people sometimes have to take piss tests for different programs. And if you take a piss test after you eat a poppy seed muffin, it comes up as heroin. And I tried making cranberry walnut muffins, except sometimes homeless people can't eat nuts. Why? Because they don't have teeth. So the next week, I made 2 batches, and I'm walking down the street, and a 6'5" trans woman walks up to me and says, what you got? I say I got cranberry muffins, with or without nuts. She puts her hand on my shoulder, and she says, honey, I always want nuts. My kitchen evolved as I became the Muffin Man. My pantry used to be empty, but now my pantry has organic flour, organic sugar, organic baking powder, yes, that's a thing, cage-free eggs, unsalted butter, vanilla, cinnamon, nutmeg, allspice, cloves, ginger, everything you need to make delicious muffins. I became a muffin recipe fanatic. I downloaded Pinterest, for fuck's sake, just so I could learn more muffin recipes. I researched the history of the muffin, and I learned that January 28th is National Muffin Day. Why? Because it's the birthday of Julia Grant, who is Ulysses S. Grant's wife, who, during the Civil War, would bake muffins for the Union soldiers to give them nourishment and encouragement and make them feel strong. And that, I believe, is why we won the Civil War. And that, I believe, is why slavery was abolished in America. All because of the power of the muffin. Yes, and so every year on National Muffin Day, I launch a big campaign to get all my friends and family and complete strangers to bake muffins and give them to hungry people in their cities. In San Francisco, in Oakland, in LA, DC, New York, Kentucky, Louisiana, UK, Ouagadougou, because no matter where you go, there are needy people in need of food. Hell, just before I came here to this venue, I was under the overpass handing out 24 delicious black and blueberry muffins. and all my friends started to know me as the Muffin Man. My friends with children invited me over to teach the next generation how to bake and give. And the guy at the record store, he gave me a 45 of Etta James singing, "Do you know the Muffin Man?" That's right. This Muffin Man, this superhero, has a theme song just like Batman. And I know that when you're at the Moth, your stories are supposed to have a beginning and a middle and an end. And I know that the conflict needs resolution, but my conflict will never be resolved. Why? This is so fucking awkward. Because there are 6,728 homeless people in San Francisco today, and that is they are in need of food and love, and that is why I bake muffins and give them, and that is why I am the motherfucking Muffin Man, and this is my obsession. Thank you very much.